In today's video, I got two things. The first thing I have is a quote from a friend of mine on Facebook. This is their Facebook status, and I wanted to share it because I thought it was fantastic. And she's in recovery as well, and her name's Lynn. And she said the quickest way to get back on your feet is to accept yourself and forgive yourself for not being perfect. You don't have it all figured out. You don't always make the right choices, and you don't always trust the right people. That's the reality of it. You just can't prepare for everything. Keep in mind that it's natural. Keep in mind that you're human. And keep in mind that had you knew better, you would have done better. Accept yourself. Forgive yourself. Life is too rough and your heart is too fragile. Respect your soul plan. And that's on point. That's pretty awesome. So thanks, Lynn, for sharing that on your Facebook page. As you can tell, there's chaos going on in my apartment right now because we just ordered food. My dog's going nuts. So hopefully you can still hear me. Now, I want to share an email, okay? And he says, my name is Bryan. I'm 33 years old and from a small town in western New York. I have just about 1 year, 6 months clean time. I first got clean after I robbed a bank due to being so desperate and depraved that I was able to do such a stupid thing. But it did save my life only because I was able to realize that I was capable of doing something this reckless that I could do other things. I checked into a detox facility that same day. That was September 2014. I think I may have got ahead of myself. Let me start over. First, when I was 23, I was selling pot, and this guy didn't have enough to cover, so he traded me some Oxy 10 milligram, which I had no idea at the time was the beginning of the end for me. But I kept it recreational and did these occasionally. After a couple of years, I started dating a girl quite a few years younger than me. I was 27 at the time and never really had a big desire to do pills like some of my other friends did. But as time would tell, I did have the same drive they did. Only I was heading towards a disaster that would be 4 years in the making, filled with law enforcement, lawyers, ruined friendships, lost jobs, possessions, homelessness, overdosing. Everything that comes with the life of an addict. After dating Jess for about 3 years and some change, she decided that things had ran its course and she called it quits. Now this is where things become suspect. I have some choices that maybe could have altered the course of my life, but I chose, as some would say, wisely. But I still think to this day, if I had stayed around town, I would have ended up where I am today, just a little later to the party. Moving on. I found myself living with a somewhat new friend that I had known for a while, but didn't really know all that well. He owned a tattoo shop that I would frequent and get work done at. Also, he sold pills. Now, being butthurt and heartbroken, where do we all go when we find ourselves in that spot? Right into the warm blanket of abuse. Anyways, after doing pills for a couple of months, I decided with the help of my friend Ben that I would save some money and do some real dope for a change. Well, the rest was history. I began snorting a couple of bags here and there, then every day, and before long, I needed a full bundle to get high. Soon it was off to the races with the spoon and needle. Now, I would be lying if I said I don't miss that life, because if you ask any addict to be honest with you, you would find that they all were addicted to the needle and the process of getting ready to get high. I think we enjoy that life. We enjoy that more than the actual high sometimes. But yeah, breaking incredible amounts of laws to get where I needed to be. Robbing Peter to pay Paul, stealing from friends and family, my work twice, getting caught twice. You know, in hindsight, I might have been as slick as I thought I was, but yeah, things got out of hand quick. I tried to join the military after being sober for 2 months. I thought I had it under control, and come to find out I didn't. One real regret in my life is not being able to go through with that. I moved back to New York from Pennsylvania and found work, got fired, OD'd a couple of times, got kicked out of my house, was homeless for about 2 years after that, living in my car with my dog, hanging out with drug dealers, giving them rides to and from town to get dope, and in turn I would get free stuff. After the gravy train ended, which with those guys it does all too often, I tried to get clean again, only to be looking down at my arm with blood going everywhere because I can't hit due to my veins being thrashed. So after all this, I decided to go to detox and get clean. After a month and a half of being clean, I came out and went to Suboxone clinic and was turned away because I had been clean. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. I had the money for the visit and whatever else I had to pay for. Well, I relapsed and continued on for about 2 more months until I robbed a bank. That morning, I tried to talk myself out of it by saying that I can't do this, I will get caught, and sure enough, I did. It honestly was the best thing that could have happened. It saved my life. I didn't get picked up for about 8 months. The fact, and being clean for that time, I was able to secure employment, which I am still with the same employer. I have my clean time and the ability to tell the people in my life that I am sorry. There are things that I will do for the rest of my life, day in and day out, to better myself. The guilt, the doubt, the anxiety, the inability to move on, it will pass. There are things that will happen that will test you and make you think about the feeling of getting high. But you have to remember we are addicts. 1 is too many, and 1,000 is never enough. I know I will die if I use again. I was doing way too much heroin to just go back and be okay. That is my drive. I use the mentality that I had as an addict to keep me moving forward. If I can go drive an hour or 3 to cop dope, I can make it through the shitty parts of the day. Whatever it is, I guess if I had any advice for someone getting clean, it's learn to stand where you fell. If you can't do that, you will fall again. Keep getting up, don't lay down for anything. Be strong, be positive, and most of all, help your fellow man out, addict or not. That feeling of being a good or normal person is better than any drug I've done. Thanks for letting me share. Bryan. That's a kick-ass email. I mean, thanks, Bryan, for sharing that. I mean, wow. I mean, that's a really great email. It's a great story, and I'm really I'm honored that you shared it. And thank you. So thanks, Bryan. Seriously. If you'd like to share your story, you can email me at ryan@compsport.com. In the subject line, put YouTube story, my story. Let me know if you want to use your first or last name or stay anonymous. And continue watching. Keep leaving comments. Keep sharing stories. And keep it positive. I mean, this email was good. And I'm very happy that he shared. All right, so I know more of you have stories like this. So please, please share your story. I guarantee you this story is going to hit home for a lot of people. Okay, so it's going to help a lot of people. So, Bryan, you did good, man. Thank you. Keep watching, leave some comments, and keep sharing. Thank you.